So at some point or another, if you use edge control, we've all experienced the flaking that edge control can cause. Edge control is very temperamental by nature, but I have a couple tricks up my sleeves to help you avoid the flaking. So keep watching and I'll show you how I lay my baby hairs. So of course I'm using my very own Kelly Logan Effortless Edges Edge Control. And the thing I like about my edge control mostly is that it's not an oily formula. This is a water-based formula. So it's not going to leave you with an oily mess. It's not going to go on strong and then wear off. This is something that's going to last you all day. My first step to perfect edges that don't flake is adding water to your hair. You always want to start on damp hair, especially with my specific edge control. You want to start on wet hair because it helps the product to dissolve into your hair. The reason you get flaking is because the product is sitting on top of your hair or you haven't rubbed it in enough. So the water is just going to help it along and help it to dissolve into your hair. So I start out with just a tiny bit. You definitely only need a little bit. You kind of want to build up instead of starting with a lot. And of course my edges are a little bit more damp than I would like them to be. I feel like the best time to do this is when you're like right fresh out of the shower. It's like the perfect amount of moisture in your hair. All right, here we go. Also, brushing out your edges, brushing out the hairs to be slicked is very important so that you don't end up with that. Just brush them out. I'll just tell you that. Just do it. And then you can use the rat tail to kind of form them however you want. I feel like this is the most artistic part of doing your hair, is laying your edges, because everybody has a different way that they like their edges to lay. And that's okay. Some of us are, you know, a little bit more extravagant than others. Some people just use it to push their edges into their hair, whatever floats your boats. Just have fun with it. And use my tips so that you don't get any flaking. I always put that little part there. I feel like it just kind of makes it a lot neater and makes it look more intentional. And this edge control is actually what I used to do my, I used the edge control to do my knotless braids. And it worked out pretty well. But I do have a braid gel coming very soon. Alright, so that's how we're looking for the first side. So this is probably going to be perfect on the second side because it's had a chance to dry just a little bit. And if y'all are noticing that some of my braids are bigger than the others, it's because I did my braids myself. And when I first started doing them, I did not realize, and I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I was trying to put a lot of hair on my knotless braids, and because I'm so bald-headed, I have to make the braids kind of small and put a little bit of hair on them, at least with my grip game, because otherwise they slip off. So yeah, lesson learned. I got that knotless tutorial coming up soon. I'm gonna do them one more time because these weren't perfect. This is my first time doing them. How we doing? So y'all kind of get the point. Very little product. Very, very little product. goes a very long way. And again, my edges are wet. And the second most important thing is that I'm rubbing it all the way in, and I'm also brushing it in so that it's not just sitting on top of my hair, because that is when you get flaking, when it's just sitting on your hair. So you definitely want to brush it all the way in, rub it all the way in. But using a brush is necessary. I can't, it's hard. And if you want to get my edge control, if you want to purchase my edge control, you can get it at www.kellyloganhair.com. And you can also get this little edge tool, because this one is the GOAT for real. Like, alright, so edge is not going nowhere. Like, this side is already kind of dry. This side, I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys on your edge journey.